Hey there everyone, it is Eddie here once again with another game of Starcraft 2. This will be a Terran vs Protoss on Metalopolis from the North American ladders. This will be a game between NOVAstalife, spawning here at the 8 o'clock expansion. He is the Red Terran. He is ranked 63rd in the North American Grandmaster League with 306 wins to go along with 162 losses, which is a 65% win rate for him. And we see apparently these players have just played a very long and tiring game, which of course does happen when you're laddering. You're both playing at the same time and the game occasionally decides to match you with a player who you just had a game against, and it's just a fact of laddering and you have to deal with it, and we will see how these players do. They're reminiscing about the apparently epic game they just had, talking about it a little bit in the early game. Anyway, the other player in this game will be the blue Protoss. His name is ZeRgWaVe. Contrary to the Zerg part of that name, he is indeed playing Protoss. He is ranked 2nd in the North American Master Division, which is Calliope Pi, which he's in. He is a 370 win and 281 loss record player, which does translate into a 56% win rate. We said them talking about nukes now. Apparently the last game was quite epic, and I might go and try to find that game after this if it is indeed as awesome as they are making it sound. We'll see how that works, and we'll see if I can find it, and I will cast it if it is indeed just as good as they make it sound. At any rate, putting that production tab up, these players are going to be playing a Terran vs Protoss, as I already said, on Metalopolis. I noticed that a lot of my games have been on ZeRgWaVe. I'm not sure why that is. It's a pretty popular map, but I didn't know it would be quite that skewed. So I have been looking for replays from other maps, and I did find this one. It is indeed on Metalopolis. I actually have some replays sent in by viewers, but sadly enough, those are on ZeRgWaVe. So I'll actually start casting those after I get a couple of other maps in, because I've been trying to get some variety, because it is boring watching games on the same map all the time. So gonna get some variety in there, gonna find some games from other maps, and I will cast them, and it will be fun. We see that probe actually, while he was waiting for the resources to put up his nexus, got some extra minerals and ran them back to the main, because of course you might as well do something with the probe, because it's not doing much just sitting around. We do see the Protoss player setting up a Nexus first, going to go a very macro-oriented build, the Nexus before the gateway even. So he is thinking about the mid to late game, while on the other hand, our Terran player we see has the second barracks already going up, putting a reactor on the first one, so he's going for some aggressive play, some possibly 2 racks timing push happening. Going to get a reactor on this barracks, probably pumping out Marines, and I'm assuming a Tech Lab onto this one for some Marauder support, and getting those Marines and Marauders very effective in the early game if you can time it correctly and you can micro your units correctly. And of course Marauders are so powerful against Protoss units because they do indeed turn toss to goo. Unfortunately for ZeRgWaVe, despite his name, he will not have any deadly green mines. Those Banelings won't be able to use any because unfortunately for him, he is using Protoss. But we'll see how he's able to hold off the aggression. He, of course, decided to go a macro-oriented build, putting that Nexus up first, so we'll see if he's able to respond in kind to the attack that will be coming from StarLife soon enough. Going to be putting up a second gateway to support that one gateway he already had up, and is pumping out a few Zealots just to get an army established. This SCV coming now, just getting verification that indeed a Nexus went up first, so he knows that this aggression might pay off in great dividends, so he's going to be very excited about that, very, happy that his aggressive build turned out to be going up against a passive build, and going to try to do a lot of damage with these units, already pumping out a Marauder out of this barracks and 2 Marines out of this one, with 2 more following as soon as those two as soon as those 2 spawn. I'm tripping over some words, I'm sorry about that. This one Marine holding down the watchtower while the Protoss player is kind of establishing his base, getting a couple of probes down here at the natural. Of course, he did not quite get his wish. He couldn't focus on populating his natural expansion because he had to divert those resources into defending against an attack, mustering up some units. We see he's getting 2 more Stalkers right now, and the Terran player getting concussive shells. That is almost done being researched, so those Marauders will be ever more effective, slowing units with every single hit. This Warp Gate about 1/3 of the way to completion. Warp Gate research, actually. So he's going to be a little while off from being able to warp in units wherever he likes. I think this is a probe up here. Yes, this probe probably anticipating setting up a proxy pylon, but he will have no such luck as these 2 Marines find him and take him out and kill him, and just aren't very nice to that probe, unfortunately. Their Terran push is happening right now as he has 2 Marauders to go along with 6 Marines, it looks like, so they'll be Going up towards the Protoss player's base and seeing what kind of damage they can do. We have one unit way ahead of the group, this Marine that was at the watchtower, kind of providing the scouting, kind of getting ahead and seeing just what kind of resistance lies ahead. He will turn around and re-rally with the rest of his army. A couple of SCVs joining, seeing if they can help support the troops, you know, maybe build some bunkers to house those troops if they get the opportunity. While the Protoss player, it looks like, is ready for this attack. He has 3 Stalkers and 5 Zealots just waiting for the push, which is going to happen right now as the Terran player is coming in, leading with those SCVs, trying to tank some damage, trying to take the damage away from the damaging units as the Marines get a lot of shots in on these Zealots. The Marauders doing damage from the back. Those SCVs do get taken out. These Zealots charging into the Marines and Marauders, but they will all get taken out. These Stalkers turning around because they know that there aren't any Zealots left to tank the damage for them as they are trying to do damage from the back, and it does look like probes will get pulled off the line to help defend their home. Zealots and probes up in the front. The probes do turn back. These Stalkers are chasing these Marauders down because Marauders are so cost-effective kiting Zealots and probes because, of course, with that slow, they never even reach them. But it does look like those Marauders get taken out. So the Protoss player is able to defend the initial attack from our Terran player, and he may have some thought of a counterattack right now. This probe might be setting a proxy pylon up as these units are closing in behind it. So wow, the Protoss player able to fend off that attack, might have some ideas of attacking on his own. We see StarLife has expanded behind that initial aggression, getting an orbital up at his natural, dropping a mule just down to boost his economy ever more. He has actually dipped below. He diverted so much resources into that initial attack, he's actually suffering in the harvester count. We see it's 39 to 27 in favor of the Protoss player. So actually, despite that mule, the Protoss is ahead in the income tab right now, having thoughts of a counterattack, warping in a proxy pylon, and then more units coming into the front lines. Another pylon going to be set up here. So our Terran player is now on the defensive. The roles have reversed. It is time for StarLife to defend against ZeRgWaVe's aggression. We'll see if he can defend it just as well as ZeRgWaVe did before. This army looking pretty scary. We have 7 Stalkers along with 5 Zealots going to be moving in, it looks like. Nope, going to be staying there for now. This SCV kind of just running around trying to figure out where it's going to go, what it's going to do with its life. Just not sure, having a midlife crisis, it looks like. These Marines and Marauders stationed right here at the base, kind of defending it for now, knowing that a counterattack is going to happen right now as these Stalkers and Zealots are moving in. These Marines are like, oh my goodness guys, they're attacking us right now and we're dying. This is not good. Marines losing their lives left and right. The SCVs pulled off the line and getting taken out so incredibly rapidly, doing almost nothing to those Zealots, as now the Marines and Marauders turn around to make their last stand. Possibly they are getting taken out very quickly. That stim pack wearing off, more stim packs going off, but of course every single stim pack takes off health from these units, and they will all get taken out as ZeRgWaVe is getting some solid attacking in. This orbital command is forced to lift off this supply depot wall, doing everything it can, but of course this supply depot doesn't have much HP and is going to get taken out by the Stalker. No, wait, it looks like a lot of SCVs getting taken out to repair it, but it looks like the DPS for the Stalkers is going to be too good. We see StarLife actually trying to float this orbital to prevent the Protoss from being able to click the supply depots. Did not manage to do that in time, as that SCV or that supply depot did get taken out. ZeRgWaVe is all up in StarLife's space, shooting his units in the face and forcing StarLife to GG out of this game. GG actually, so good game. These players are fresh off another game that was very long. This game did not go quite as long, it would seem, because we saw the initial attack from StarLife going that 2 racks aggressive build, and ZeRgWaVe was able to hold it off pretty handily and then turn the tables on his Terran counterparts, get some proxy pylons set up here, and just kind of steamroll through the Terran defenses and was able to take the game. So well played by ZeRgWaVe, well done by the Protoss player, defending and then attacking beautifully. Very well done. Put on a clinic right there this game. I hope you guys enjoyed that. More games to come, and I will see you guys next time.